In this question, we're given a cake that's made up of two cylindrical layers that are on top of one another, and what we have to find out is what is the total volume of this cake. Okay, so let's look at the top layer. If I draw it out here, and as the question says, it would be a cylinder. It's kind of a squashed cylinder here. And if we move it over to the side, we can see that that would be the volume of the top of the ice cream cake. Now let's look at the bottom layer, so we can draw an outline of it here. And if we move it over to the side, this would represent the volume of the bottom of the cake. And so the volume total would equal the volume of the top of the cake plus the volume of the bottom of the cake. And we're given the formula for the volume of a cylinder, so let's work out the volume for the top and the bottom and add them together. So let's start with the top, and we know that to find the volume we need to know the radius and the height. So for the top cylinder, we can see that the radius is the 8 centimeters here, and the height is this distance, which is 6 centimeters. So I can place that on my diagram here. We've got a radius of 8 centimeters and a height of 6 centimeters. And volume is given as pi times r squared times h. So we can plug in our values here, and we would get 3.14 times the radius, 8, and squared means multiplied by itself, and then times the height, which is 6. And if we plug those values into our calculator, we would get 1,205.76. But why don't we just round that up to the closest centimeter cubed? We'll make that 1,206 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's look at the bottom. We can see that the radius of the bottom layer is 15 centimeters, and the height here is 6 centimeters. So again, we can place that into our diagram. The radius would be 15, and the height here would be 6. And using the volume formula again, it would be 3.14 times the radius squared, so 15 squared means 15 times 15, times the height, which is 6. And if we multiply all those together, we would get 4,239 centimeters cubed. So to get the total volume, we just place these values here in for our top and bottom layers and add them up. So the volume of the top is 1,206 centimeters cubed, and the volume of the bottom is 4,239 centimeters cubed. And if we add those two numbers together, we would get 5,445 centimeters cubed, roughly that value. So let's look down our list of options to see which one is closest, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the closest total volume. And when we do that, it looks like C would be our answer.